it were Jeter's ball, no, I still would have left the stadium with it, told the Yankees I need to think about it. I'd probably be going through the very same process, as a matter of fact.
Can you explain the process once you caught the ball? Were you met right away by a Yankee representative or Major League Baseball representative?
Yeah, security was on the scene within a minute, and it could have even been, 15 seconds or 30 seconds. Everything was so crazy that it was really just a blur at this point, and I lost track of time. But there were security guards, supervisors, bosses of the supervisors, police officers, all surrounding me, saying, we got to get you out of here. Come with us. For your safety, we want to talk to you about the ball. And I actually was not in a rush to leave the section. I told them, look, I need to take a picture of it. I need to capture this moment for my blogs, for Twitter. And as soon as I pulled my camera out, everybody around me, well, I guess they already had their cameras out, but they wanted to see the ball. By the way, I'm in a car and I'm heading into a tunnel in a moment. So if I lose you, we'll see what happens. But
if you lose us, call us back, Hample.
All right.
Talk about what happened at the moment, because I've watched the replay of that probably 10 times. I mean, did you catch the ball clean, or did it wind up hitting the ground? And you, because I thought I saw you and I saw the green shirt, and I thought I saw you bending down. So I mean, did it hit the ground and then you picked it up? You were the first one down there, or what happened?
Can you still hear me?
Yes,
we can.
Okay, I see daylight. I see light at the end of the tunnel. So
nice.
Good. I was in the third row, and I jumped out of my seat, and I was right on the end of the staircase, and I moved back one row on the stairs to the fourth row, and I was trying to lean back and get underneath the ball. I knew exactly where it was going, and I was about ready to reach up and jump for it, and I kind of hit a wall of people behind me, got shoved forward a little bit, and I thought it was gone. I thought I had lost the chance of a lifetime. There was a huge pile of people behind me and a little to the they were all scrambling for it. There were so many bodies on top of each other that I couldn't even see the ground. So I just looked down where I couldn't see the ground, which was right at my feet. And you cannot imagine the shock that went through my system when I saw a baseball pretty much touching my right sneaker on the very step that I was standing on. And I bent down and I grabbed it, and that's that.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly way more of a crush than you usually see for a home run ball. For obviously a lot of people wanting to catch history, and also, I mean, this is the one thing that I don't understand why people are just so eager to tell you what to do. I mean, this ball, I read in an article, has a value of at least $50,000 is what the estimate is from
yeah.
I don't know how true that is, but we're talking about a piece of memorabilia here that obviously has significant value.
Yeah, it's worth a lot more than that, in my opinion. I mean,
okay.
It would be the only 3,000th hit in history that the public could bid on and potentially own. There have only been two other 3,000th hits that ended up in the stands. Wade Boggs hit a home run for his milestone, and of course Jeter. Both of those fans gave the ball back to the players. And again, there is a chance that I will get this ball back to A-Rod if the process goes in a way that I'm satisfied with.
Now,
if it doesn't, then yeah, it's the only 3,000th hit ever. So that's worth a lot more than 50,000, even with all the controversy. I was just actually on Good Day New York with the president of Guernsey's auction house. They sold the McGuire 70th home run ball from 1998 for a little over $3 million, and they've handled other, big milestone home run balls. He said on the air that this could be worth on the low end $50,000, but possibly as much as $500,000.
Right. No, that's my point. Is that people are so eager to tell you what to do. This is potentially a huge financial windfall for you, and to just cavalierly say, oh, here's the ball. It's I mean, to me, that's almost irresponsible.
Yeah, it totally is. I mean, like I said, I needed time to think about it. What excites me most about this whole situation is not personal financial gain. I'm just excited to have gotten the ball, to be part of this historic baseball moment. And if I keep it, it'll just be an absolute thrill to own for the rest of my life. To me, that's worth more than $100,000 or $200,000, as crazy as that might sound. But if I can use the ball for charity, that's really what I'm thinking right now. So again, there's so many voices and opinions coming in from all sides. And, it's easy for someone who's sitting behind their laptop in the safety of their own home to make all kinds of pronouncements about what I should do with the ball. But until you're actually holding that ball in your hand, I mean, you really don't understand what it's like.
Well, I'm going to be one of those people who disagrees with you.
What do you think I should do?
Well, I don't know. I'm not
That's
sure.
my brother for
well,
you.
You've actually brought up some good points, and my brother actually in the car on the way here brought up some good points that,
as I always do,
not always, but it is a piece of history, and as much as history is one of my favorite things in the world, it's also something that should be preserved and saved. And by selling it, you maybe lose not you personally, but the ball. Maybe gets lost or switched out or something happens to it.
It's authenticated by MLB.
I can't see you holding on to the ball because of, let's say you did hold on to it like in a, who was the guy who was the collector of all the jerseys?
Barry Halper.
Barry Halper type of way, because then you need security and other things like that. So I can see you selling it but just based on that reason. That's why I would get rid of it. I'm not sure. I read about the guy who caught Jeter's ball, and then the Yankees treated him pretty well. But then I found out later he had to pay taxes and all that. So
yeah, that's another consideration. The tax thing. I've had lawyers contact me and offer legal advice. Agents want to represent me. PR firms. I mean, there's so many people, and that's why I need some time to think about it. I mean, that's really all it comes down to. If I do send the ball to an auction, there's absolutely no reason that Alex Rodriguez himself couldn't come and bid on the ball.
Exactly.
If it's that meaningful to him, he could outbid pretty much anybody in the world. I mean, unless Bill Gates or some, oil sheik from the Middle East wants it. But, everyone's like, how could you sell it? Give it to A-Rod. Well, A-Rod can come and bid on it. And, I've already said that I would give, a huge portion of the money to charity. So I don't think that people could blame me for that. And that's just where I am with it.
Now, how did they? Did the Yankees or when you caught the ball, did they come in verify that it was that ball? Yes. Did they stamp it or what do they do with it?
Yeah, they sure did. And by the way, my car is almost at my next interview, which by the way is a podcast for Slate magazine. So I'm gonna probably have to wrap it up. After
Zach, we're actually on the radio. Come on.
Podcast.
Plus, my brother.
We haven't even spoken.
By the way,
we haven't even talked about Lisa Ann yet. Come on.
By the way, what do you do when you're not doing interviews about the ball?
You guys realize you just asked me 3 different questions now. Which one? What do I do when I'm not at baseball?
Yeah.
Lisa Ann, and how is it authenticated? Which one?
All 3. Start with authentication.
The ball was already marked with the letter R and the number 1, which stands for Rodriguez, and 1 means it was the first specially marked ball that Major League Baseball put into play that game for his at-bat. That was there when I grabbed it. And then I met with a Major League Baseball authenticator who put one of those hologram stickers on the ball. He had to take it from me for a minute or two, which made me a little nervous. He wanted to look at it in private, and he had some sort of secret verification process. He determined it was the real ball, put the sticker on, so there's no disputing that it's the real ball. As for Lisa Ann, we went to a baseball game at Citi Field together 6 days ago, and it's pretty funny how we've almost turned into BFFs since then. We've been emailing and texting and tweeting back and forth a whole lot, and we're trying to make plans to meet back up or chat on the phone, and it probably would have happened by now if not for all the mayhem surrounding this ball, but I'm super busy, and she, understands that because she's like about 100 times more famous than I am.
Don't forget to invite your buddy, Hample.
I'll see what I can do, Leonard. And the last question was what? I forget.
Oh, what
are you doing? How do you know my brother?
Well, we used to work together at MLB.com.
Oh, okay.
But what are you doing these days, Hample? Besides being a published author, he's written 3 books, by the way.
Thank you.
So
happy to plug.
You used to work at MLB, and now they want the ball, and you're telling them you should have paid me more? Is that?
Well, they should have, but that's besides the point.
I think I earned about $12 an hour writing recaps late at night about minor league games. I was definitely not in that for the money, but it was a very cool experience, and that's kind of how I feel about the whole A-Rod 3000 hit thing. But, yeah, my family owns an old independent bookstore. It's actually the oldest one in the city. It's called Argos's, and that's where I've been working. Not quite full-time, but pretty close to it. During the winter months, I'm there more. And the store has 6 floors, and it's filled with old antique stuff, really cool items, a whole floor of autographs, another floor of prints and maps and posters. So that's what I've been up to lately.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I'm not
taking
sure.
Today off. I think they'll understand.
Well, Zach, we've been talking with Zack Hample. He caught A-Rod's 3,000th hit, which happened to be a home run, and you were in the bleachers. Have the bleacher creatures thanked you for catching it, or have they been less than pleasant?
No, Bald Vinny has been less than pleasant.
Yeah, that Bald Vinny has been basically riling everybody up into a frenzy. I sent him a tweet that was like, hey, can we meet up and have a conversation? I don't want to fight. Let's be friends. So hopefully this will work out in a way that they ease up a bit. Gentlemen, I have to go. I'm at my destination, but hopefully we can catch up again soon.
Just to remember, tell the podcast people we're on the air and they're not. This is radio. That's a podcast. Now, mind you, I do a podcast, but that's something else. I'll let Timmy say goodbye.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up here. Zack Hample has been with us, the catcher of Alex Rodriguez's 3,000th hit and very well-known ball hawk, 3-time author. We do appreciate him coming on with us. And Hample, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's great stuff, and congratulations.
Thank you. Again, really appreciate it.
No problem. We'll talk soon.
All right.
90.3 FM, WHPC.
It's good to have friends. See, I put the word out, and I said, Hample, give us a call. We want to have you on the air. And what happens? He gives me a call.
I didn't even know Tim knew
How
him
about
until
that?
this
How about
morning.
that,
Tim says, yeah, I know the guy who called
I know
A-Rod's
people.
ball. So I'm not sure. He brings up some good points. If he's going to do for charity, that's great. At the same time, as you said something very interesting in the car.
As usual.
If you catch it and you're not going to do something with it. If someone gave you that amount of money like that, even though you didn't have the money beforehand, would you give it away?
No.
Well,
I wouldn't. I mean,
know.
you're talking. I mean, let's put it this way. All right, is it a life-changing sum of money? No, it's not. But is it a sum of money that's going to make my life better? Oh, absolutely. And I'm not going to just cavalierly give that away and say, "Oh, well, A-Rod is your ball." You know what? If A-Rod wanted the ball so bad, he wouldn't have hit it over a fence.
What? Oh,
there you go.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
No, that's not the way it works. You hit for the hit. You don't hit, well, I'm going to hit it to left field, and it's going to go 275 feet, and it's going to go to the left of the left fielder just by 12 feet. It doesn't work that way, Tim.
Well,
you know that.
That's my point. I'm going with it. I'm sticking with it.
Well, it's interesting. I remember when Jeter hit the 3,000, it was the home run, and it was like this huge thing because he had such a bad season that year.
And Michael Kay has said history with an exclamation. I was glad Michael Kay didn't plagiarize himself because he could have said the same thing because it wasn't a grand slam that A-Rod hit, but he hit a home run. So, but that was the other thing I noticed about that moment was that Michael Kay didn't seem nearly as enthusiastic for A-Rod as he did for Jeter. He was apoplectic when Jeter hit the grand slam.
Well, that's part of this whole thing. If it was Jeter, I don't know how much your friend Zach would be doing this. I mean, it's Jeter.
Trust me on this. When what Hample said about that he is a baseball fan, but he doesn't root for teams. He roots for players. And we've had
Is he a fantasy player like you?
I don't think so. But we've had this conversation more than once in terms of because like Ichiro Suzuki is his favorite player.
Right. Okay.
And has been for a long time.
Okay.
But it didn't matter to him what team. Like I don't think he's particularly a Yankees fan. But he'll go to Yankees games because that's what he does. I mean, just to give people a background, if they don't know who Zack Hample is, he is what they call a ball hawk, and he goes to games with the intention of gathering as many baseballs as he can. Now, what the media has been screwing up with him is, yes, he does have a collection of 8,000 baseballs that he has gotten from Major League games. Now, how many of them has he caught during play? Maybe 30? I don't know.
Does he go to batting practice, you mean?
He goes to batting practice. He'll catch some during batting practice, but most of the balls that he has acquired, he gets from players. and he'll say like two players will be playing catch or whatever, and he'll call and say, hey, whoever.